authentication, all that much better. Because
It's
we
just
are
like,
gonna
come
do
on.
a video about that.
It's like, come on. So here's what he said. I'll just do it quickly again. What he
Yeah, sure.
said. So as a new guy again, he must be a bigger manager. His name is Jerry. Hi there, thanks for your message. We're terribly sorry to hear about your experience. I've gotten acquainted with your history of messages. In order to pass your case to our development team, first we need to eliminate all possible reasons from your side.
We already did. He's still not listening, eh?
But here's what they say. If you are 100% sure with your seed phrase, please import it to Trust Wallet. If the problem is on our side, you will see your actual balance
Yeah,
and
fuck that.
wallets. Then we will
Again.
flag it for fixing. Otherwise, the issue with your seed phrase will be confirmed. No, because it wasn't even my effing seed phrase. I said, still not listening. I feel you are not understanding and don't care about your clients. Your
Yeah.
software changed the links. So even my password in brackets, big letters, not the seed phrase, from one day to the next didn't show the right links from the
Yeah.
blockchain.
Yeah.
If the links to the blockchain are not the same as the originals, nothing, a zero balance will also show up in Trust Wallet because the links for my blockchain are not the right ones from the original Atomic Wallet I set up in the first place.
Yeah.
And and they're not the ones in there when I used my password, not the seed phrase, to get in on the day a zero balance occurred.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not a developer, but I know the difference in links can cause the information not to be in the place it is supposed to be. And then I put, as per a previous email, the different links, and I haven't finished it because I just want to
Yeah.
swear.
Yeah. Well, again, they're not listening, so that's fine.
Because
They'll be listening. They'll be listening to. They'll be listening to our video talking about how much of a piece of shit they are, and all of the comments underneath of people agreeing that they're pieces of shit. That they'll listen to.
so when I'm now as you, there am I, when I look at it going, I should be able to just get in with a password. I shouldn't have needed my seed phrase.
You don't. Yeah. You don't need your seed phrase.
And
That's the
then,
thing. They're not paying attention to anything you're saying. They are refusing
right,
to
because
even
it shouldn't,
properly, like,
I shouldn't have needed my
no reading
seed phrase.
comprehension. No,
I
you don't.
shouldn't have needed my seed phrase.
Yeah, it's got nothing to do with the seed phrase. It has everything to do with the fact they have a vulnerability in their software that randomly switches the wallet addresses associated with your seed phrase. That's the problem. And I'm learning more about why that is. It's this whole circumventing having to have a seed phrase for each asset. And so what they do is that they assign a bunch of wallet addresses under one seed phrase that would be like for Bitcoin. Well, that then just gets associated with a bunch of other addresses. You're not actually creating non-custodial wallets for each of those things. You're only doing it for one, and all of those other addresses are underneath that one seed phrase.
So then what this is one of those wallets underneath
Yep.
that doesn't have my information in it.
Yeah, and again, it points back to a vulnerability in Atomic, and they absolutely categorically are refusing to even look at it. Just defaulting to saying this has something to do with the seed phrase. It has absolutely nothing to do with the seed phrase, because if it had to do with the seed phrase, you would have been able to restore it
Mm-hmm.
somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Because I have my seed, because I have my password and I have my
Yeah.
seed phrase. If it was, yeah, I would have been able to go into the Trust Wallet and yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, well, that's anyway.
Okay, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so I'm gonna just double check here. So we'll layout this exit. Yeah, there we go. All right. So I'm working on one monitor today, so I'm not gonna, I'm kind of working blind a little bit. I do want to make sure though. No, it doesn't show my. It's not showing my pinpointer here, so let me just
Well, just use the
reshare.
cursor. Just use the cursor, Paul. We can see it.
The cursor shows up when I spin it around like
Yeah,
that.
when you do that, I can see it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay,
that's your
cool.
pointer.
That's good enough then. Okay.
Yep.
I was under the impression that it was not.
No, I can see that.
Okay. Good stuff. All right. So, as I suspected, we're actually seeing a little bit of volatility over the weekend here again, simply because of this whole inauguration thing. It's just all over the place. Again, because people don't, it's people don't recognize what this is. They think that this is economy coming back because Trump is coming on board. No, this is the Great Reset. This is the Great Reset. And so they're just doing everything they can to make onboarding into cryptocurrencies as attractive as possible, so that over the next 3 to 4 months they can get as many users as possible to come in. That's what's going on. They're just going to make it look as attractive as possible. And part of that is to make it look like the inauguration was the cause. So that's what we're seeing. It's just a schmoz of a weekend here. We've got the crypto 30 didn't really drop down, but Ethereum did. Ethereum dropped itself out again, finding, just like we were saying yesterday when it was up high. I was like, you know what, folks, watch out, because this trend line provides some resistance. Sure enough, it did. In fact, I gotta adjust it now. So this trend line is now providing that resistance for Ethereum. We can see it dropped already today. I noticed it even in my shake pay. Yeah, 5%. So already down 5% after touching that trend line. I believe that we're going to continue to see this over the weekend. Cardano came down, not as much, thankfully. Solana has actually gone up. Why? Because memes are leading the way. In fact, take a look what happened to SPX. So we were literally hanging out. I said yesterday, just bouncing off of this. We're bouncing off of this here, and sure enough, did we ever bounce? We bounced off of the pivot zone there, and up 50% already in one day. And that's because memes are leading the way, and Solana is just a major network for these meme coins. And so it is actually taking off sooner than Ethereum. Ethereum, there are jokes being made about Ethereum and the founder of Ethereum right now. There's people saying there's a term in cryptocurrencies called shitcoins, and these are just simply coins that have lost all of their utility. They just don't have any use whatsoever anymore, and they come out of the gate really good, and then they just kind of peter out and become irrelevant as time goes on, usually in a very short period of time. But with Ethereum, because it's because of how much it's behind the times, they're making jokes about how Ethereum is now the biggest shit coin in the entire ecosystem. So it's funny to watch, especially when Solana, the one coin throughout the summer I couldn't stand. I was only analyzing it because I knew that it was being used for memes. So I kept on going with it, but I hated it. But here it is actually outperforming Ethereum. It's just funny. Injective token, nice rise over the last couple of days. Like it's finding some support again. We found that support down below at that $18 level. Came up a day of resistance at this level here, this pivot zone, which coincides with a purchase point that I made back in September. But now you can see we're above that. Now zoom in on this. It's just beautiful. Look how it comes out of this zone here. You know, it dips, finds some support, but it dips down into that zone, comes back out quickly, very quickly in a matter of 6 hours, retests the top end of this zone, and then immediately proceeds to bull run its way up. This area of resistance coincides with that past, but it only stayed here for, what was this? I think a day? Not even a day. Oh, I've got my whole thing here is trying to select the, there we go. It was trying to select too much there. So comes up, and then for, yeah, just the period of this time here, 1 day, 12 hours, holds out just below that pivot point, and then shoots above, and now has found support on the top side of this area, this little consolidation area that we see. So great position right now on Injective token. I would like to see this high get above this previous high from January, this first week of January. Once I see that, then I know that we're back into that full bull run. Right now, though, a great spot to accumulate if you wanted to get some more on the last few days here before the inauguration. Fetch, very similar price action occurring here. You can see that long-term pivot point here. Dipped down, touched that long-term trend line that's going up, only to, yeah, comes back up and then, or rather gets up above that, finds support, and then runs for a little bit, for a day or two, yeah, a day and a half, and then the last 24 hours or so, we've seen it come back to find support from the top side of that $1.30 area. So very good entry. Polygon also finding a good entry. I managed to, was pulling out of my trust yesterday, things here in the city, and it just timed out well that I'd gotten some Polygon down here at 41 cents, and then I sold it at 20% higher just a week later. Not even really. It's like, yeah, it says 4 days, but I managed to buy down here, and then I sold just here, and so I didn't have to pull out as much as I had budgeted because I paid 20% 4 days. 3 protocol actually showing some life here. Look at that, how it's, it's showing these all-time lows, and all of a sudden a new high came out of nowhere yesterday, and is come back to find some support on the top side. So very good, encouraging chart. We'd love to see a high get above the 4.8 cent level. Once we're above 5 cents, I think we're going to see more movement coming back towards the 8 cent mark. But already, shoot, that's more than 100%. It's 130% from here, just coming back to 8 cents, which is really quite low. It's a very low price considering all-time high is 46 cents. So this here is going to double your money. Coming back up to the all-time high, that's now 11x. Woo. You know, I like this chart. I like this chart. Look at how it actually appreciated some of that little spurt of growth there earlier this week. Oh no, this is the daily chart. That was last week. There we go. There's the spurt coming up above, and then from above, finding support now, 20 cents. Destra, similar pattern over the last couple of days. Got a nice little spurt, created a new high, coming back from above to find that support. 0 by 0, similar chart. IOS, same kind of deal, but a little bit took a little bit longer. This run here was spread out over a longer period of time than what the other ones have done. Again, coming back from above, finding support at the top end of this consolidation range. Or this is more so a pivot range, pivot zone. Anyone, also similar pattern. This I would say would be that consolidation range right here. Based on that chart, based on what we're seeing in the price action. Yeah, and if we go back even further, we can see how much price action occurred, you know, from a below and even from above. So this range here became very crucial. Big test right here, middle of the beginning of this week, and since then above, finding support on the top side. ARC, a little bit of a retracement here today, finding some support at the 2.5 cent level, which is a low for we've had since November. So right now, sitting at some lows since the middle of November, but with this high at 7 cents, just coming back to the high in November will give us 169% return on ARC, and it's at a great entry point right now. Long-term, strong pivot point. Just going to go ahead and extend this further. Where is the middle of this? Oh yeah, okay, it's going back further. There it is. Okay, good. So this this pivot zone here is going to be crucial to watch as we progress over the next little while. Bouncing off the top of that, we should see some great movement going up. Similar chart happening in Link AI. This pivot zone, though, it's actually dipped below it and has now come back into it, hanging out at the bottom side of this. Remember, folks, Link is a lot shorter term of a project. It's not been here very long. And so it has really proven its worth. Just the fact that it doesn't really, it tests going below, but it refuses to go below this low from April. Just keeps on denying those tests. So great position for Link AI as well. Awesome purchase point. Same thing with World. Looking to go for this all-time, or this all-time high that was set in March at $11, sitting at $2.15 right now. That's a nice 5x for where we are. Neural taking off. Oh my goodness. So look at how this has been consolidating since the all-time high. Yeah, that's right. That's an all-time high. December 6th. Been consolidating since, finding some support in the previous pivot zone around that $7-8 range. Ready to go. Just poised and ready to go. Could not see a more attractive chart right now. Beam. Also, great, well-rounded chart here. Again, newer project. but already high market cap, approaching $1 billion. This here is a beautiful test coming down into, I'm going to just tighten this range a little bit so that people can see where this was. Yep. There's that range. Stayed below a little bit, but here, nice strong movement, creating that all-time high, coming back to find support on the top side of that. Really encouraging. Really encouraging. This is a mini zone right here. This mini zone is going to is probably going to see, we're going to see this price action here over the next couple of days before the inauguration. Probably going to see some more flash happening within this range. PAL AI. Good old PAL. I said even yesterday, I was like, you know what, folks, just because it's up here, we didn't actually have a proper test of this bottom trend line, and sure enough, we're starting to push back down from that high that we talked about yesterday. FAR hanging out nice and low. This one here is of course gaming, so it's going to take a little bit longer for it to see the same life as we're seeing in AI. IMX also nice and low on the bottom end of that long-term trend. Oh, no, that's a short-term trend. Yeah, but it's still at that bottom end of this big long wedge. That previous high set beginning of December. We've got that as that kind of that next target from where we are right now, going up to that previous high is a 71% increase. So just coming back to where we were. It's a good position. If you had a position and maybe bought when it was up higher, now would be a great time to add to that bag, even try to add a larger amount at this price point, just so that you can appreciate those gains for the time that you've been in. Remember, the cost of lost opportunity, you could always make it up, especially in these bull runs. Superverse also now at a very nice location, coming off of an no, not the all-time high, but this high set in the middle of December. We are seeing, yeah, look at that beautiful March, that high coming back down to the support in August, forming a brand new high, considerably higher. In fact, from August up to that next high is a 500% rate increase, coming back down 50% drop, finding support. This thing is ready to go. Beautiful setup. The next resistance I think we're going to see is going to be around this $2.60 mark. I'm going to go ahead and mark that because it's going to be good to watch. It's going to be good to watch this unfold. So we're going to say squiggly line like this. Here's where we're going to see some more resistance. Might come back to get support here before taking off to the all-time high. That's the kind of chart that we can expect over the next little while. On Superverse, okay, this is a Clearpool. Clearpool, of course, RWA, asset. Specifically focused on computing. Great growth over the last little while here. This week was a great week for Clearpool. A little bit of a retracement. I'm still Yep, 70% growth this week, coming back down. Just a quick retracement, 15% retracement. It's now sitting on top of some great support that's been there in the past. Again, because inauguration is still a couple of days, we might see this yet test the top end of this pivot zone here. But at the same time, folks, this is also a good spot. With the way that this came up as fast as it did, we might not see this price come back down. This might be what we need. This might have been the bull run that we needed to take control over the bears and continue the movement going up. Seed World showing a little bit of life over the last couple of days here. Some great promise with a brand new high. But as we can see, it's retraced back down to this low here. This is a big drop. when you take a look into the consideration of things, across 14 hours, it dropped 28%. But that's the kind of movement that we see before a big load, especially for how much higher it went than the previous high. You know, from where it was, the previous high was only 13%, and it went up 37% in a matter of hours, 4 hours, and then retraced back down again. So this movement here is just letting us know we're coiled up, ready to go for a big movement going up. Non-playable coin showed some strength over the last couple of days, and in the last 24 hours or so, we've seen another little bit of pullback, but it's not much, 12%. In the big scheme of things, you can see how this is a great entry. Now with this high beating out the previous high, we just need to see this price action get above the 3-cent price point. Once it's above that one, then we'll see less resistance going up. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw out what I see happening here over the next few days for NPC. Might find some support here, a little bit of resistance there, then finding it again on the top side. And then I believe we'll see a little bit of resistance here, coming back to find support. Yeah, and then up to here, I think. Coming back to find support here before heading up to the all-time high. Just getting close, so I want to just start squiggling some lines here because I think that the movements are going to happen fairly quickly. SPX 6900 brought this chart up early on simply because of how Solana was increasing its the price action of Solana was a lot different from Ethereum, Cardano, Injective even. SPX 6900 is definitely one of the leaders. I think right now it's still the #1 coin for holders over $1,000 US out of all the meme coins. So that just shows you these guys are serious. They're not messing around. They're committed. They want to see their vision taking over the stock market come to fruition. And that alone is creating this price action. Just that belief in the community built around it. So that's it for market analysis on the charts. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and bring down the charts. We can bring it up anytime you want. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And I'm just going to quickly throw up this link here, folks. This link here, I'm mirrored here. This link here, you can connect with our Telegram. You can connect with me on X. You can subscribe to me on YouTube. Also, in there, we do have the link to come into studio every morning on our trade analysis, on our market analysis. You're more than welcome to join and be a part of the conversation directly instead of just watching it on the live stream. And that allows you to ask your questions directly. If there's something that you want me to analyze, I have a quick response right here inside our trade room. So that's it for today, Saturday 18th. Yeah, any questions? Audrey?
No questions today. Just that there's a couple people in the Drayton Valley group that are wanting to get in on the Laura Jane Cote coup thing.
Okay. Yeah. Today is going to be a big catch-up day. I had a bunch of appointments lined up while I was here in the city, and 2 have canceled. So that's going to open up a lot more productivity time, and I'll be able to get the messages out on that, and of course, the farmers market for next week.
Yeah, Otea sent the one and part of the email to Donna, and for some reason I'm not finding. I've got the download. It downloaded, but I can't find the original email to Annette.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, and yeah, that's another thing too, is that I'm gonna have a vendor's landing page. So when you have a potential vendor, just get them to put in their information on that one, and it'll have more like name, business name, description of
No, I
your
mean this
products.
isn't for the this is for Laura Jane's Tuesday thing.
Oh, got it. The communication for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I
I'll
can't
have to.
find it. I'm not sure
I'll,
what email it went into.
I'll be
Um,
sending out another one. I'll be sending out another one today,
okay,
so that it'll be fresh for everybody, and you're more than welcome to share it.
yeah, like I said, Taya sent it to Donna in the Drake Valley group, and Annette
Perfect.
wants it.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome. Yeah, I'll get that distributed today.
Cool.
And then we got book study tomorrow morning.
Yes.
That'll be awesome.
So that's at 8:15, not 7:15.
Right.
You sure?
Yeah, that's what I have marked down.
Okay. It's just
Yep.
it was the time zone between BC and Alberta that we were
Yes.
discussing.
Yeah.
Okay. So 8:15. Get to sleep in an hour. Yay. Yay.
Awesome.
Okay. Cool. No, that's good.
Well, awesome. Have a good rest of the day.
You guys too. Everybody stay warm.
Yeah, we will do. And Wendell's all right.
Yeah, I heard him upstairs. I'm going to head up there now.
Okay.
Okay. Take care, Paul.
Yeah, you bet. Take care.